And you won't ever give anything up for God that God won't bless you for. Amen. He waxed strong in spirit. He was filled with wisdom. He went with his parents. I'll tell you this. I'm trying to move on. I'll tell you this. As a youth director, I was a youth director, I don't know, probably 6-7 years or so. And I was 20 years old. And we took a youth group. Me and Melissa just got married at 19. Matter of fact, I can remember going soul winning. And one of the older young ladies in the youth group, I had told her to do something. She went down a flight of stairs in an apartment complex, and she didn't realize I went up the flight of stairs that was just above her. And she looked at, I heard her down below. She said, he just thinks he's so much older than we are. And listen, God knows what he's doing, amen? And we were still learning, and God's still growing us. And so we need to get to the place where we'll go with him. But I'll tell you, one of the biggest things I've found, I carry young people off and get them away, carry them to camp, and take their cell phones away from them for a week. Or back in those days, it was probably, you know, their CD player and their magazines or comic books or whatever, and get them away from the world for a little while and away from the TV, and get them out there and God to go to doing work in their life. And I'll tell you, we've come home, and this is a biblical principle. You just study the book of Acts, and they'll start asking you to get rid of things. And we've started dumpster fires, literally, and let them burn things up in dumpsters that God's dealt with them. Their clothing that they knew they shouldn't be wearing, their music that they shouldn't be listening to. And I've sat and watched parents get upset, I mean irate, and been out of shape because young people wanted to get rid of sinful things in their life that they had paid money. I paid good money for that. We ought to give them somebody to go with. Amen. We want our kids to turn out right. But what if they come home tomorrow and tell us they're going to be a missionary to some place like China, where he was talking about that Christians are still oppressed? Would we be willing to encourage them? Huh? What if they got a big scholarship and they're about to get a full ride to college, and your boy comes home that's about to get a full ride to college, and he tells you God's called him to preach and he don't want to go anymore? Huh? I'll tell you this, a young man in this room being called to preach, he stepped into an office that I believe is more highly esteemed than even the President of the United States of America. It's a heavier calling. We're representing not just America, but a faraway land. Amen. It's not a prideful place. It's a very humbling place. A place that none of us really deserve to be in, but God. Amen. Will we be willing to give them somebody to go with? He went into the temple. He went with his parents. He went into the temple. He was hearing and asking questions. And then we see this. He was astonished when they told him they had been looking for him and they had been sorrowful. He said, "Wist you not that I've been about my Father's business?" He knew that he was to be about his Father's business. He knew that God had a will for him to carry out here in this land. But I'm going to tell you this. There's going to be some family. The Bible said they didn't understand that. They didn't understand what he was talking about. The more you sell out to God, the more you're going to realize not everybody understands that. The more church begins to be what your life is centered around, and the will of God becomes the most important cornerstone of your life, the more you're going to find out that not everybody understands that. But you'll never find a more peaceful place to dwell than in the will of God. Let's stand to our feet all over the building. How about it today? Are we going to open?
Careless soul, why will you linger, wandering from the fold of God? Hear you not the invitation, oh, prepare to meet thy God. Careless soul,
oh, careless soul,
oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Why so thoughtless are you standing while the fleeting years go by and your life is spinning folly? Oh, prepare to meet thy God, careless soul. Oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment unprepared. Hear ye not the earnest pleadings of your friends that wish you well, and perhaps before tomorrow you'll be called to meet your God, careless soul. Oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment unprepared to meet thy God. If you spurn the invitation till the Spirit shall depart, then you'll see your sad condition, unprepared to meet thy God, careless soul. Oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment unprepared to meet thy God. Careless soul, why will you linger, wandering from the fold of God? Hear ye not the invitation? Oh, prepare to meet thy God, careless soul. Oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment unprepared to meet thy God. Why so thoughtless are you standing while the fleeting years go by and your life is spinning folly? Oh, prepare to meet thy God, careless soul. Oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment unprepared to meet thy God. Hear ye not the earnest pleadings of your friends that wish you